Duplicating Astroboy. Here's how we duplicate the action hero using reusable molding materials. Start by heating the ImPRESSive Putty in the microwave for about 3 minutes in short intervals. I used about a pound of ImPRESSive Putty. Be careful when it is first heated, it's hot, so let it cool before pressing. Smooth out the putty so no lines are in it. Press the figurine into the putty. Move, squeeze, and shape the putty to put the parting line where you want it. Press some dots in the putty. This will make it so that two halves of the mold are aligned and put back together. Spray with Bubble Buster to reduce bubble formation on the second half of the mold. Both ImPRESSive Putty and ComposiMold are reusable molding materials, so you can make dozens of unique molds with the same material. Melt the ComposiMold in the microwave the same as you melted the ImPRESSive Putty. This took about 3 minutes, but do it in short intervals. Pour over your figurine and let this cool. Use a paper clip or a toothpick to pull away any bubbles inside of the Astroboy. You don't need to break the bubbles, just pull them out of any crevices on the actual pot. The transparency of the ComposiMold is very nice for this. Let this cool and pull the mold halves apart. They won't stick together. The putty cooled in about an hour in the freezer. The ComposiMold cooled in about an hour as well as we put it back into the freezer. I used a spoon to pull the mold out of the mold box, or in this case it was a bowl. The putty does not need a mold box, but it helps in this case to create a boundary because I'm using the ComposiMold for the second half of the mold. Is Astroboy the coolest superhero? And what's better than one Astroboy? I say 2 Astroboys, and customized Astroboys are even better. Peel the mold away and carefully pull the ComposiMold out of the gun barrel. We could have used both halves with ImPRESSive Putty or ComposiMold, but because it's pourable, the ComposiMold fills all the gaps to make a much more detailed mold. The ImPRESSive Putty replaces the clay usually suggested for 2-part mold and simplifies the mold making process. I wanted to pour the resin into the back, so I picked the highest point in the back and drilled a screw hole there. I could also have gone through the feet or the head. I use ComposiCast White with ComposiMold epoxy pigment tan. What's nice about the ComposiCast resin is it works really well with reusable mold making materials such as ImPRESSive Putty and ComposiMold. It doesn't create a lot of heat during curing, and best of all, you don't have to be that accurate with the mixing because you can be off by 15 to 20% and still have a nice hard cast. So mix the resin 1:1 by volume or weight. It only took about 3 drops of the coloring to make this into a nice tan color. I brushed the resin over the front of the mold just to make sure all the areas were filled. You don't have to do this, but I figured it couldn't hurt. I also did this in the back part of the mold, but I don't think that does a lot since the resin will just drop down. In Japan, Astroboy is Mighty Atom. It was a comic book in the 1950s and 1960s and created by Osamu Tezuka. Put the mold back together and carefully pour the resin into the screw hole until it's filled. You can also use a funnel, a paper funnel, or a syringe to help get the resin into the screw hole. Syringes are great for smaller parts. We could also have placed screw holes in the legs and maybe his back so we would know when the mold is full. The resin will start coming out of those screw holes. The awesome part about reusable mold making materials is that you can experiment. So, if you think of other ways to make this, try it and see what happens. Be sure to tap the mold to help any bubbles escape. Let this resin cure overnight. the mold apart. Be very careful around some of the delicate areas. After this mold, you can make another Astroboy, or you can remelt the reusable mold making tray to new shape of the figurine. There we go. Coming soon. Ta-da! A little bit of the ComposiMold broke off in the gun hole, but other than that, it came out great. Clean up the edges. Most of the plastic came right off, but you can also sand it and clean it up using a Dremel tool. You can paint the figure now to make it any way you want. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and have a great time making your own molds and castings.